All right, medical imaging. We're talking X-rays, MRIs, all these incredible visuals, right?
Like windows into the human body.
Exactly. But there's this whole other side most people don't see.
The analysis, that's where it gets really interesting.
And that's exactly where our deep dive comes in today.
We're going deep on a new technique.
ScribblePrompt. Using AI to analyze those medical images in a revolutionary way.
Straight from the MIT labs, this research.
It's groundbreaking stuff.
And it all begins with something called segmentation.
Segmentation, all right. Break that down for me before I get too far into the weeds. What are we talking about here?
Imagine you're a doctor. You've got an MRI up on the screen. You need to pinpoint a tumor.
Right. Okay, I'm with you.
Segmentation is like you're outlining that tumor, but meticulously, pixel by pixel.
So you can really understand it?
Exactly. Measure it, track if it's growing, and figure out the treatment plan.
So basically highlighting the key parts of the image. Sounds simple enough, but something tells me it's not quite that easy.
You're right, it's not. Traditionally, segmentation, it's incredibly time-consuming. Think about it. Tracing the edges of something complex on a high-res image.
Yeah, that sounds painstaking.
It takes hours, even for the experts.
Wow, I hadn't even considered the time involved, but that's a massive bottleneck.
Huge. Especially with the sheer volume of medical images being generated every single day.
It's overwhelming to think about.
And that's where the potential of AI comes in.
Makes sense. Automating that process would be huge.
Game changer. Freeing up healthcare pros to, actually focus on the patients.
Making those critical decisions, absolutely. But haven't there already been attempts to use AI for this kind of image analysis?
Sure, there have. AI is making inroads, but there are limitations.
Yeah.
A lot of the current models, they need tons of data.
Okay, to do what exactly?
To be trained for each specific task. So say you want to identify a different type of tumor.
Or analyze a different scan altogether.
You're starting that training process all over.
So it's like having a tool that only does one very specific job. Not exactly efficient.
Not at all. But what if you had a tool that could learn, that could adapt?
Now you've got my attention. That sounds a lot like what we were just talking about with ScribblePrompt.
That's exactly where this comes in.
Okay, so let's dive into this ScribblePrompt thing. What makes it so special? ScribblePrompt, it's almost like deceptively simple, right?
The name.
Yeah. You hear ScribblePrompt, you think like a doodling app or something.
Right.
Then you hear it's analyzing these super complex medical images, and it's like, wait, how does that even work?
I think that's part of what makes it so brilliant, that deceptive simplicity.
Okay, I like that.
When we're trying to point something out, how do we do it? We scribble on it, we circle
Or
it.
make gestures.
Right. ScribblePrompt, it's tapping into that human way of communicating.
So instead of needing a medical degree to use this thing, I can just, circle the area on the image? I think is weird.
Pretty much. You can give it these simple cues.
Like what kind of cues?
A quick scribble, a click, even just a rough box around the area.
No way.
And here's the kicker. ScribblePrompt gets it.
Yeah.
It understands what you're trying to show it.
Yeah. Even if my drawing skills are, let's say, less than perfect.
Even then, that's the beauty of it.
Okay, now that's impressive. But how does it, learn to do that? Did they really train this AI on every possible scribble a human could make?
Not quite. This is where the MIT team got really creative.
All right, hit me with it.
They trained ScribblePrompt on a massive data set.
How massive are we talking?
Over 54,000 medical images.
Wow, okay, that's a lot of images.
But here's the key. Those images, they weren't just labeled. They were paired with these simulated human interactions.
Simulated, so like fake scribbles and stuff?
Exactly. They generated all kinds of scribbles, lines, dots, you name it, basically mimicking how a real person would interact with an image.
So they taught the AI to understand it.
In a way, yes. They even factored in things like wiggle, how our hands aren't perfectly steady when we draw.
That's so smart. It's like they taught this AI the language of human imperfection, which, let's be real, is a language we all speak to some extent.
And the best part is, this training, it wasn't limited to one type of image either. We're talking MRIs, CT scans, the whole gamut.
Different body parts, different conditions. ScribblePrompt can handle it all.
It's incredibly adaptable. And it's not just about scribbles either. You can use clicks, bounding boxes, whatever works best for what you're trying to do.
So it really is like a multi-tool for medical imaging. That's amazing.
It's very versatile, gives you options.
But with all this potential, how does it actually perform? I mean, we can talk about all these amazing capabilities, but does it actually deliver? Well, the researchers put it to the test, and the results, as you might imagine, were pretty impressive. All right, the moment of truth. How did ScribblePrompt do when they put it to the test?
They didn't go easy on it, that's for sure. We're talking up against some of the biggest names in AI image recognition.
Like what? Give me names. What did ScribblePrompt have to go up against?
Okay, get this, the segment anything model.
Sam?
Exactly, Sam.
Oh,
That's a tough act to follow.
no kidding. So how'd it do? Did ScribblePrompt sink or swim?
Swim. It blew the competition out of the water.
Seriously, come on, give me the details. What kind of challenges are we talking about here?
They threw it all at ScribblePrompt, including those unseen tasks.
Unseen, you mean?
Images it had never encountered before, situations it hadn't specifically been trained for.
The true test. Can it handle something totally new?
And not only did it handle it, but it did it with amazing accuracy and speed.
All right, but let's talk practicality here for a second. Numbers are great, but does this actually work for the people using it? Real-world doctors, researchers, are they seeing the benefits?
That's where those user studies you mentioned really come in.
Yeah, what'd they say?
They loved it. Overwhelmingly positive feedback.
Music to my ears. So, ScribblePrompt, it's not just some theoretical win, it's actually making a difference for these professionals.
That's right. More accurate, faster, and importantly, they said it felt more responsive to their input.
Which, in a field where every second counts, gotta be huge.
Absolutely. And here's another thing, accessibility.
Oh, right, because we've been talking about all these advanced capabilities, but not every healthcare setting has access to the latest and greatest tech.
Exactly. But the researchers, they were smart about this. One of the architectures they developed, ScribblePrompt UNet.
Catchy name.
It's incredibly efficient.
But how efficient are we talking?
It can run on a single CPU.
Get out. That's like running the latest video game on a computer from the Stone Age.
It's pretty incredible. It means this technology could be used even in low-resource settings. We're talking about a real impact on global health equity here.
Okay, that's amazing. So, to wrap things up here, sounds like ScribblePrompt has the potential to really shake things up in the world of medical imaging. Big picture, what's the takeaway for you?
For me, it's about collaboration. Human intelligence and AI working hand in hand. Not about replacing anyone, but giving these incredible professionals even better tools to do what they do best.
It's like we're entering a whole new era of medical discovery here, one where AI helps us unlock secrets hidden within these images. And honestly, it's pretty mind-blowing to think about the possibilities.
And this is just the beginning. The researchers, they open source their code, the data, everything, inviting the world to come and build on what they've started.
Which means who knows what incredible innovations are just around the corner. Well, that's it for this deep dive into the world of AI-powered medical imaging. I'm feeling optimistic, folks. And until next time, keep those questions coming. We'll be here with more answers.